And during the NFL draft last week, none of those trade discussions came to fruition, though the Cowboys are one of the most likely teams for Pickens to be traded. That, according to the Athletic's Diana Rossini. Nothing has worked out between the two teams, though, as Pickens remains a Steeler. Okay. I realize this one's a little personal for you, RC, and Stephen A., both your teams, Dallas and Pittsburgh. Who's more likely to make the playoffs? Is it the Cowboys or the Steelers?
Unfortunately, it's the Cowboys. And I hate to say it, but you're looking at the Cowboys who have a Dak Prescott, the Cowboys who's bolstered their running game, going out in free agency and getting backs, the Cowboys who, to me, had a high-quality NFL draft in 2025. You're talking about a team that I feel more prepared and more comfortable with saying that they could be successful, saying that they could compete within their division based on the one main factor that I believe more in Dak Prescott than I believe in Aaron Rodgers if he does decide to play, and more in Dak Prescott, obviously, than I believe in Mason Rudolph. And it's only so long you can spin your wheels and continue to be a slightly above average team and not address the quarterback position. And with all the moves that Omar Khan has made with his aggression that I do love and a change in philosophy and how they acquire players, they still have not addressed the quarterback position. And I do not believe the team, especially up front offensively, is good enough to protect them.
Even the Cowboys.
To me, I'll be damned if I'm going to say the Cowboys. That's not going to happen. Not on this show. I'm not going to do that. Last time I checked, the reigning Super Bowl champions are in the NFC East. Last time I checked, their competitors in the NFC Championship game is in the NFC East. I don't think those two teams are going anywhere. So what we're talking about is Dallas Cowboys, fighting for third place in the NFC East. I remember Dan Orlovsky came on here and did his brilliant synopsis of everything. I mean, he was so eloquent, guys. You should have heard him. You know what? I mean, I think the Cowboys are really, really good. Other than 8 teams, and he named all 8. He said, other than these 8, I mean, I think they're in a really good position. Only 7 going to the playoffs, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was hilarious. I mean, you should have heard him talking. It's like, oh, man, they got a chance. I mean, other than these 8 teams, watch what they do. I'm like, please. Now, with the Steelers, I got to bet on Mike Tomlin. I got to bet on 18 straight seasons of 500 or better. I got to bet on the fact that since 2007, only the Patriots and the Packers have had collectively a better record than the Pittsburgh Steelers. I understand their quarterback situation is horrendous. I understand that you don't go out and give DK Metcalf 4 years, $132 million, and pay him with George Pickens to have Mason Rudolph throwing them the damn football. I refuse to believe that's the case. I think that Aaron Rodgers will ultimately end up playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't like the draft but so much. I know Harmon could ball. I'm rooting for the brother. You needed help on defense. I get that part. But to draft this cat out of Ohio State and say, what is it, Will Howard?
Wow.
And pass on Shedeur Sanders really, really ticks me off. Okay, I get all of that. But in the end, I'm still looking at the fact that even coming into last season, with the low expectations for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin found a way to get them to the postseason, although they crawled in because losing the last 5 games.
But, Stephen A., we felt better about their quarterback room last year, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I agree. But you're asking me to compare them to the Cowboys.
You might
and that's where I'm saying
Aaron Rodgers, if he ever makes a decision. I know
well, see,
you're excited about that.
As they're presently both constructed, you have to go Dallas. You have to go with Dak Prescott. You have to give them the benefit of the doubt. And look, Will McClay, who heads their personnel department down there, did a great job in the draft.
He did.
Look, Tyler Booker is going to wind up bolstering that offensive line. Jayden Blue out of Texas, the running back, is a home run hitter now. He is a home run hitter. And don't let them mess around and get another wide receiver to go along with CeeDee. So I'll tell you what. Let's just say Aaron doesn't sign with Pittsburgh. Or let's just say Aaron does sign with Pittsburgh. Okay. But they get George Pickens out of there and they get him down to Dallas. Now, I don't know if Brian Schottenheimer can go ahead and handle all that. Yeah. But I'll tell you, if he can, and you've got George Pickens, and then, and you've got CeeDee Lamb, and you've got Jayden Blue, and you've got Vontae Williamson, you got Jake Ferguson, you got Tyler Booker, you got Tyler Smith. Hey, I'll tell you what. Look, we can hate on Dallas all we want, but we're going to find out just how good of a coach Brian Schottenheimer is as a head man. But look, that quarterback position, it's such an albatross. It's such an anchor around this organization right now. And if you lose George, are you telling me really you think DK's just going to carry the load by himself? Yeah. And if they don't get the quarterback, Mason Rudolph and DK are going to carry the load. It's just not going to happen.
But you know what Aaron Rodgers said? He's not holding anybody hostage. Yeah. Go ahead, Mad Dog.
I think it's going to be Rodgers will play, so I'm going to go Pittsburgh. I'm going to give you a couple of reasons. Number one, they made the playoffs last year, and Rodgers is better than Wilson, I think. And so if Rodgers plays, that's going to help him. Secondly, look at the conferences. Philly, Washington, Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, the Rams, and San Francisco is going to be better because that's a good organization. I trust them. Those are a lot of teams. And then look at the AFC. All right, the AFC South, no. Buffalo, fine. The Jets, Miami, and New England, no. And at the AFC West, I don't know about the Raiders. San Diego, I know Chargers are decent, but still, I mean, and Denver, that division, and a division's tricky because you got to deal with Cincinnati and Baltimore, but the Browns don't have a quarterback either at the moment. So I think Pittsburgh's in actually a little easier conference than Dallas is because Dallas has got Philadelphia, and the best they can do is third in the division. So if the best you can do is third in your division, and then you're looking at the NFC North and the Niners and the Rams, that's tough to get in. So I'll go Pittsburgh for those couple of reasons.
I just saw what you said. I saw RC and Molly nod in affirmation. What do you mean we have to give Dak Prescott the benefit of the doubt? Why?
2 years ago, he was second in MVP.
We're just comparing him to the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback room. That's all.
2 years ago, he didn't have Philadelphia and Washington in the same division looking the way they look.
Stephen A., would you rather have Dak Prescott than what you have now in the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yes, I would.
Room?
Yes, I would. But I'm looking at Philly and Washington.
No, that's fair.
And you didn't have that 2 years ago.
Right.
You got that now.
And also, too, though, you're not going to have an historically bad Cincinnati Bengal defense again this year.
No.
And so you do have to compete with Joe Burrow and also Lamar Jackson.
They retain their guys as
and
well.
Whose quarterback room would you rather have? Would you rather have Cleveland's quarterback room with that group of 5, maybe 4 if you don't count Deshaun, or Pittsburgh's quarterback room?
I'd rather have Cleveland's. I got to consider.
So therefore,
two-time coach of the year.
Speaking of Cleveland, they didn't just get quarterbacks; they also got some running backs. Ryan, I got a quick take for you. So Nick Chubb has dealt with a lot of injuries of late, but the free agent running back looking pretty good, coming off a broken foot, which ended his season, clearing these hurdles with ease. Obviously, this was posted after they took a couple back. Interesting timing. RC, what's your reaction?
You know what I love about this? Nick Chubb doesn't speak. Nick Chubb doesn't talk. Nick Chubb is not one of those people that is about self-promotion, but this seems like motivation to me. This seems like Nick Chubb trying to tell the world, you've seen what I've done on the grass. I'm fully healthy. I can do everything and anything that you need me to do, and somebody's going to make a decision and bring Nick Chubb into their building, and they're going to get a hell of a back. I love the fact that he's saying, you know what, I ain't got to tell you that I'm feeling good. I'm going to show you.
Let me tell you where he knows to go.
Excuse the absence of education.
What?
He's free to go anywhere?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
The Steelers got to get him. The Steelers got to get him. Why didn't you bring that up? Why didn't you bring that up?
Because I wasn't asking about the Steelers.
You can't just be bringing him up. Oh, they got to get him.
The Steelers drafted him back.
You got to get him.
They drafted him back in the draft. They got Gainwell in the offseason.
You know where he needs to go?
Where?
Nick Chubb needs to go to Chicago.
Yeah, that's
Nick Chubb go to Chicago.
I agree.
So I'll tell you what.
Now you got trying to get knuckles there.
Hey, I'm telling you, that's where he needs to go. If I'm Ryan Poles, I'm going. I'm watching that video. I'm just like. Hey, what you doing? I don't up here to Chicago.
I believe in what Chicago's doing, but I'm thinking of Windy City. I'm thinking of the cold. And even though Pittsburgh gets cold,
he played in Cleveland.
I know that. But that's
behind that new
why the injuries might have been. I mean, you got to be a little warm.
Pittsburgh and Cleveland aren't exactly Miami.
I know that, but it ain't Chicago. Chicago's different level.
You remember the shot he took on that
know?
D, though.
When have you been in a freezing cold?
First of all, I live in Connecticut.
Have you been to Chicago in the winter?
It's the worst.
It's the worst.
It's the absolute worst.
Anything worse than that is Minnesota.
What are you talking about? I've been to Chicago in the winter. We go to all-star games in Chicago. I've been to Pittsburgh covering games. I went to the finals covering Cleveland. You act like I don't travel.
Every time I hear about you traveling, you're in warm weather cities. All the time.
You talking about that?
The man that moved to my city.
Where do I work? I work in the freezing cold.
I'm shocked you here.
Be like that. Would you come to me like that?
You spend more time in L.A. and Miami than here.
He's talking. Hey, I'm leaving Miami. He's talking about. Hey, man, I'm only a couple minutes away from it.
Listen, Stephen A., I got my bodyguards today, so don't mess with me.
I feel you.
All right. Hey, what happened to your Knicks, Stephen A.? You went to the game and jinxed them?
He did.
They couldn't close out the Pistons?
That man right there.
Didn't I see you talking about on TV yesterday that you were going to be sitting courtside?
Em đã qua. Chào cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng với tiêu đề là bánh mì. chuẩn bị mất điện. Quay nốt.
Ơi đừng nói thế chứ.
Thật, ấy cái gì ấy đi. Cái này là hay mất điện bất chợt lắm.
Khỏi nha mời luôn. Ơi cái gì xong đủ meo. Cưng chơi gặp đi. Hôm qua là không biết làm bao nhiêu người ta thì không làm. Vừa bùng mất rồi.
Hôm qua ta có làm không?
Tập in vào. Tập in vào nhanh được bao nhiêu thì được.
Có sạc đâu. Ôi trong nghĩa nó có sạc. Ui, nghĩa nó không sạc thì sạc người ta từ sáng giờ con chó này.
Đấy, hai mẹ bao nhiêu trăm?
Không phải sạc.
Cái này nhanh hơn.
Ê, ra thằng nghĩa nó không cắm củ sạc của ta sao thằng chó đấy. Đặc biệt đấy.
Bạn đấy.
Nó không cắm đúng không? Không bấm lên xem nó có pin nữa không? Chó đấy nó thu sạc của tao. Không có pin đúng không?
Một xanh.
Như chó đấy.
Bây giờ là được.
Cắm sạc.
Này.
Đây. Chân sạc đấy, chân sạc nhỏ. Trời ơi. Lại buồn là yêu anh sợ anh. Đố ông nói yêu thương gì ạ? Tắm mưa nha. Nốt video này đi tắm mưa nha. Mất điện thì đi tắm mưa.
Thì cái bước cuối cùng đi.
Quay về.
Đây tao phải đăng ngay đây thì tí nữa mất điện nó chết nổi. Tí mà nó không có điện trên 7 giờ.
Đóng cửa vào ổn. Đăng que.
Được hai cái này. Giờ phải đến lúc đi. Nào.
Đi đâu ấy?
Không biết.